All right, continuing to grind higher. Volume is decreasing, but it's still going up. So again, volume decreasing means that maybe you put on caution. Doesn't mean that, again, if you're in stuff, you're tightening stops. It doesn't mean that the volume is lightning, I go short. Because you step in front of the train, and that's never a good thing. You wait for a proper setup and you use volume as an indicator. Again, volume to me is very good regarding areas like this when it's just grinding sideways. And also if it's grinding up, because a lot of the intraday action wasn't that clean. So you can see it kind of moved a little bit in the day and then just stayed pretty much flat after 11, right? You also can look at the weekly, and you can see the volume is very, very low on the weekly aspect. It's on the weekly average. So this is the 20-day moving average for the volume. The reason why I use 20 is because there's 20 trading days a month, and you can see that it's very, very, it's below, um, well under the 20-day moving average for volume. So we can see it's moving higher. Again, I'm not going to say, again, it would be foolish to say you short right here, right now. But again, if you're in positions, you see that and you tighten your stops because it could be looking for some type of retracement to come up. But it doesn't mean that you buy this. Again, if you bought the breakout, you're only getting a little bit of action. Again, this is where the ideal spot to break that. And you could check on the 12th, my video. Everything is timestamped, so I really can't BS you. I said once it breaks above this high, we pretty much have a pivotal level that it broke below this and it break up and continue. So again, I'm not going to chase this, but I know that, and chasing meaning that the volume is decreasing on the upside, so I'm just expecting a pullback. But that's with anything. Okay, in the last 9 days, you've seen only two bars really give you some type of reversal stuff. So you got to be careful regarding adding to anything. Again, I would be protecting profits, tighten stops. A lot of my friends have called me asking what they're doing. A lot of them took the trades that I recommended to them, and they're getting paid well on them. And some of them I told them to pull them, and I'll show you some. QQQ, again, the same thing with the volume. You can see the volume is well under the 20-day, but it's moving to all-time highs, so you really don't want to say, okay, this is not a sign to say somebody tell you it's going to turn or this is the top. I don't do that. But if I'm in a position, I'm saying, you know what, instead of maybe rolling my stop down here or down here, I'm going to really tighten my stop or I'm going to come out of the position and just look for another trade. You've made your money, and that's just the way it works. You got the IWM. It is holding this 200-day right now. We just got to see, again, if it could break above today's high. You see the volume has increased. We'll see what's going on with that. And again, it also has decreasing volume. And if it breaks below this low, let's say for next week, you could definitely see this is, I think, more a telltale sign because there will be a lower high versus the other QQQ and the SPY regarding the weekly. This one weekly, actually, if it breaks below this low of around 113, 114, then it can be a lower high from here to here. So that is really something you need to be cautious about. Diamond as well, the volume is low, but again, it has given a very, very good recovery. So if you're in anything, it's a matter of saying, okay, I'll trim, tighten stops, wait for some better, another setup and go from there. But it's just saying the volume is lightening, so I wouldn't be adding or looking to add into a long, knowing that it's weakening and it should give some type of retracement. Apple, to a lot of my people take this stuff off, and it might continue up. I don't care. Volume is decreasing, and they got in around here, so they, around the 95 area, so they should be doing very, very well. And don't get slaughtered and be a pig. At the end of the day, again, Netflix, same thing. Take some off, okay? You could take a majority off if you want. I still think it's going to get to 500, but I don't think it's going to get there in one single candle. So that's just the way I look at it. Okay, you have Tesla. I would not be shorting Tesla right here, right now, and some people are, but or thinking about it. I mean, I think a healthy pullback to this 240, 244 and a half area is good, and you see that the volume on the pullback is actually decreasing. So I would be looking to say, okay, can it continue for some more upside? Weekly, yes, I don't believe in double tops. I think so. I believe in, if I see something like this, I'd rather wait for it to give me a lower high with some spacing versus trying to say, okay, I see a double top and that's going to get me in, because I think it's going to catch. And a lot of people might be looking at this as a cup and handle type of solution pattern as well. I don't really like that pattern as well either, and I might, be in the minority, because again, it's another breakout trade that I think, again, if you're trading weekly, but where are you within the trend? It should be more important than just a pattern. Okay. Solar City is just trading sideways, so you just gotta look. Again, if it doesn't give you a setup, you just look for something else, but you keep it on your watch list and don't fall asleep on it. You got Microsoft again. This I would be cautious of, okay, because 1 bar pullback and rip to the upside is not. I would expect some more pullback, quite honestly, but again, the buy would have been more here. So again, it would be to get some more profits and just wait for better setups, versus some people are going to say, I missed out on all this action. So if it breaks above tomorrow's highs, I'm in. And, again, it's approaching levels it hasn't approached in years, but I would want a better type of pullback so I could get a better entry and, things go well. Bank of America shot up. It's kind of surprising because I don't know why. See, this is why I don't really like the news, because they had to pay out 17 billion. They paid out 10 billion in cash and I think 7 in customer modifications to help people with their mortgages, and then they blast up. So that's why it's that could be. I would say that would be negative. She got hit with 17 million, but some people might say, "Oh shit, that's positive." And but even still, with this increase in volume, I wouldn't, it's not where I would want it to start. So again, I would look for a better type of setup. Goldman Sachs has continued up. Let's see the weekly. Again, the volume is declining a little bit. Let's look at that sector. That sector has done pretty well. You got the Wells Fargo has done pretty well as well, but again, this would be something I'd be very cautious in going along with, because what do you let you see the lower highs right here, so you could have kind of did something like that and say, okay, it's just continuing to have lower highs. So again, you got to kind of look at momentum and see what's going on. But again, the weekly, everything is going to have that volume. So some people might say, oh, this is just summer volume, got to get used to it. That's fine. But again, if stuff is moving very well and then pretty much goes sideways, I know FOMC was this week, but it goes sideways after 11, you're just like, damn. And the volume is weakening. So sometimes it is good to look at that intraday action to say, volume is weak, it's going sideways, and it's just grinding up. No top calling, but you want to say, okay, this might be some time for me to tighten up my stops and lock in some profits. And, if I get stopped out and locked in a lot of profit, that's good to go. Or I could peel the position. And again, I like to peel off into strength. So, it is what it is. So take care. Let's see what happens tomorrow if we get some volume come in, or if we get a little bit of type of healthy retracement on the daily aspect for the indexes as well. Take care.